Hi there YouTubers, and welcome to another servicing video from Sort 6233, the Society for the Restoration of Trains. Well, this video is actually a bit different. It's a bit of a request. As some of you know, I acquired a number of videos at the new year. In fact, I got 9 of them. A reasonable price, and it was quite a tough bidding at the end, but I won through. And I bid on them because there was one particular locomotive I wanted and I had to buy all the others. Shortly after that, when I did the video, I got a message from someone who congratulated me on my win and made it clear that he'd actually been one of the losing bidders, but he's very gracious in his defeat. However, he mentioned that he was actually after these two. He's informed me that this is a DB213 or 5 and this is a DB218, and he has a website which I'll put along the bottom or that way. His name is Martin, and he has got a European layout. I believe he's from Spain, but he sounds English, and he has a European layout containing a number of locomotives that look like this. So Martin, this one's for you. Let's take this one first. It's a non-powered locomotive, and I think, although it doesn't say anywhere, but I think looking at it, it might be one of the Del Prado static locos, which are excellently detailed, but they are pretty static. And it's non-powered, but it's in good condition, which apparently is good if you want to add just clutter or dynamic back scenes. Have one or two sitting maybe in some storage yards or TMDs. So it seems to be okay. I'm just going to put it onto my rolling load to see if it will run easily on track. I haven't tested it any other way. It seems to be free enough. The couplers and the buffers are intact at both sides, so it's probably a nice static machine. So Martin is asked if he could get this, so if he sees this, he might be interested and get back to me. Okay, let's have a look at the other one. This one is apparently a DB213 or 215. To be honest, I do not know the difference. Having a look at it tells me that it is in fact a ROCO, and the gearing tells me that it's probably powered. Condition wise, not too bad. Some fading with the decals, but a lot of good detailing and numbering along the bottom. And along here at the front, it just says DB, and it's got a number 215, so it's probably a DB215, and 083-7, and similarly at the other end. So let's have a wee look and see if I can get this to work. I've never tried this. Oh, and as I lifted it up, the cover came off. So that's what it looks like inside. Central motor, and it looks as if it's 4-axle drive or 2-axle drive. It's actually 2-axle drive, one at the front and one at the rear, with lamps at either end. Right, let me try and put it on the track directly and see if I get any life from it. I can assure you, this is the first time I've tried to make this move. Applying power. Remembering that we've no idea how long these have been stationary, so there may just be something silly or simple like needing a wee bit of lubrication. Oh, now the flywheel, I don't know if you can see this, but have a look here at the flywheel. It definitely made a movement there. We'll try again. So we'll try and encourage it. Yes, there's definitely something happening there. So at least life is getting to the motor. It may just be a simple case of lubrication. Alright, let's have a little look. I'm just having a short pause while I find my little portable hand applicator. I'll try again. I'm just going to have a look at my hand applicator, power applicator. I haven't found a good name for it yet. It's just a hand powered applicator which came from a freezer bag clip. Anyway, 9 volts onto the wheels. Nothing there. I haven't actually checked out where the contacts are. So I'll try here. And here. Okay, I wonder if I can get directly onto the motor. There's the motor contacts right there. And putting it directly onto the motor. Can you see that? Whoops, sorry about that. Yes, there's definitely life there. So it's probably just needing a nice little bit of clean and a bit of tender loving care. Now there are trying to remove the bogies here. There's a little clip. Remember, I've never actually worked on one of these before. Well, that takes the light assembly and the PCB assembly off. Is that a good idea? I don't know, because the motor is soldered here, so I'll just be gentle at this stage. And I'm trying to find some way of releasing the bogies. Rule number 1, if nothing happens and you see a screw, take it out. Oops, wrong one. Actually, that's not very good advice. I'm only having a little joke. Always be careful what you take off. I'm trying to find my screwdriver. Ah, I left it over there. The motor assembly is coming out. Okay, so I think I was nearly right. PCB there. And the motor's coming out. I don't like that because it means I've got to try and get it back in again. Never mind, there we are. And that presumably are the motor contacts. Right. So that's the PCB assembly and the linkage. But the bogies at the moment, whoops, that's the, where are we? Yeah, one of those on that side and probably one on the other side, which I think it would be well advised to try and capture before it gets lost. Right. Okay, where else are we? There's the bogies. Are they clipping in? Slide in? I can't actually determine yet. Okay, at this point I'm going to have a little pause and get this off camera. I have desoldered the leads leading to the PCB, and that allowed it to come away in one piece, and the contacts are not attached to the motor, but they connect to 2 pins in each side. To remove the bogies, I discovered is actually quite a simple push fit. So if I can try and get this lined up, it's quite simply a case of pushing the whole bogie. It's held in by 2, yes, see those 2 arms there over this center support, and simply give a little push and it unclip, and the same on the other side. Just give the whole bogie a little push and the 2 arms uncouple over the center support, and they fit back in the reverse process. Okay, here's a bogie. I'll put the other one out of the way and have a look at it. There is the drive down into here. So what I would like to do is see if I can dismantle this and clean and lubricate all the parts, and hopefully clear it out of any rubbish that might be there, keeping aware that these leads attached to the pickup plates. So here, let's have a wee look and see. I noticed the coupler here, is that being glued in? I mean, it's fairly flexible, so maybe it's glued in. I'll have a look at the other one, and again it seems to be stuck. So the coupler, either I've just been unfortunate getting one like this, but it doesn't seem to be easily removable. Anyway, we'll worry about that later on. It's a functioning coupler, looks in good condition, so I shall leave well alone. Unhooking this frame at the back allows access to the mechanism. Here are the contact arms, and they can certainly do a little clean, and my guess is that the arms will be these will just simply push off. Wrong way. So I keep forgetting that you can't see what I can see. So that seems to work alright, but it feels a bit sluggish. Okay. I'm going to move the wheels. At this stage, I've lubricated the bearings, both front and rear, and the drive shaft. I've put a little bit of lubrication on the axles and a little bit on one of the gears, and I've run it through a few times to get it circulated, and the same on both sides. To clean underneath, I took a toothbrush and simply brushed in behind the wheels all round. And to clean the wheels themselves, I because it's not a free running one, I can't use this for the wheels unless I rub it on just now, and then I rotate the drive shaft to give the wheels another different surface, rub them again, and then for the last third of the circumference of the wheels, rub them on again, and there we have some nice clean shiny wheels. On this bogie here I removed the traction tyre, so I'm just going to recover it just here, and it goes on to this wheel here, which will be at the front of the bogie on the left hand side. And just making sure that it's seated. It seemed to have a little twist in it, so I'll just reseat that. There we go. So now ready for assembly, and I've cleaned the frames with a brush. Right, now this is the front of the bogie, this is the front of the bogie frame, and this is the front of the bogie, so these will seat in like so, from the top down there. No, my apologies, it's actually from underneath, making sure I feed the wires through, clip it in at the front, and then a little push, and the frame is held at the back. So front, rear, 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 front, from underneath, clipping at the front, making sure the cables are out of the way, and clip in there. So bogies are fine. Now we can begin the assembly. There's the engine frame, and I'm suspecting that the motor should go in first, and it's held in place by two screws. The one thing I did notice was there was only one when I removed it, and I forgot to check which side the flywheel is on, but I think there's only enough space on one side. It's that one there. Right then, let me line up this hole, and the little screw which I removed earlier, there. Oops. I shall have a look later on in my spares box and see if I can find something similar. That is the motor held in place in the frame. The bogies are fitted over these cross arms by simply sliding in, and it should click. Make sure it's free, and I need to now maneuver to get the connecting arm. So I think actually I need to remove this and insert the arm first into the bogie, and as I'm inserting the bogie, make sure that the other end of the arm locates into the flywheel. There. Oops. So let me just try this one again. Oops. This is quite tricky. Right. Connecting arm into the cylinder. The other end into the flywheel, and then try and connect the two like so. So turning the flywheel rotates the bogie. Make sure bogie is free to swivel. Now for second end, and the same type of operation, connecting the coin rod into here and making sure that I can line up the motor shaft and push together. And there we have what's happening there, and I should be able to get this to run by applying power across the motor contacts. So these two pins here, and there we see that's it running. Good. Now to get power from the track, it comes through the bogies, through these cables into the PCB, runs along the track, down these two arms, onto these two pins in the motor. The PCB is supported by these two black frames, one at each end, and the PCB clips in there, and these copper contacts will make contact with the pins. I imagine that they'll go on the outside. I'll put it there anyway and see if that works. If not, I can always reset it later on. And now the PCB sits in like so. So at this point I can test again by applying power here, running okay, and applying power here where the contacts would meet the PCB. Lighting, maybe something else needing done. Let me just check again. It's okay. Power there, it's not working there. Come on. Try and see if the other lamp comes on. I've got one lamp working at this end. If I reverse the power, will the other lamp come on? Same lamp's coming on again. Right, that's going that way. I'm just checking the direction of the wheels. They're going that way, but the same lamp keeps coming on. Couple of diodes here. I wonder if there's a problem there. Okay, I'm going to check these diodes out because I've hoped that when you reverse the power, then you reverse the lights. Right, shan't be too long. With my meter set on on diode range and my probes across each of the diodes in turn, I find that reads a short circuit, and that's very low as well. Reversing the leads, of course. Yes. One thing before you check diodes in the lighting circuit, remove the bulbs, because the bulbs are in fact low resistance anyway. And I'm just going to make double sure before I disconnect these that you know something that's been soldered in. I wonder why. Just to hold it in? Or some other reason? But when I'm reading it, yes, it's quite low. Sorry about a glare on my meter there. Let me just try and lift that up a little bit. using my meter lifter upper, which is basically any old thing lying around. Still got glare in the lamps. Sorry about that. I'll try that. There's another problem I didn't expect. Of course, do it the other way. Aha, right, there we go. Reflect the glare the other way. Right, so the lamp obviously is reading a short, quite low resistance, would you expect. So now let's try these diodes and see if it still gives the same resistance. And that there is very low, and that one is also very low. So working on that assumption, I shall remove the diodes and check them out of circuit. Reading the diodes out of circuit, one would expect something like 600 odd ohms one way and an open circuit the other way, and if I read this one, 4 ohms this way and 4 ohms that way. These are definitely defunct. So I'm going to replace these with some IN4001s or 6s, whichever I have available. The stage that I'm at is I've replaced these two diodes that look like something like IN4148s with these IN4006s, which are a lot heftier. And if I apply power, and just watch the bulbs, I'm going to apply in one direction, the motor turns and this lamp here on your right is activated. Try it again, there we go. So I'm going to reverse the connections, and this time it should go the other way, and the lamp underneath has been activated. You can just about see it between the jaws of my clamp. That's it off, that's it on, and it was the diodes causing that particular problem. There's nothing worse than a self-induced fault, and when I put all this together I found that the bulb wouldn't work in one direction, and it turned out that in my ham-fisted manner I'd just split the track just about there. So I've affected the soldier bridge, and that has restored it back to hopefully working order. Next stage, connect up the power from the bogies, one at each end, and we'll see if that has got us a finally working DB215. So hang on in there. On the basis you should check your work as you go along, I've hooked up one bogie and this should allow it to work, and you can see there we go, it's going in one direction and this light is coming on and the wheels are turning appropriately. So this time this light should come on and the wheels should turn towards there, and they do. So this bogie is now working fine. I'm just going to finish hooking up the second bogie. And mark. And here we go, in one direction and in the other one. Sorted. Okay, you know what's coming next. Put it onto the track. DB215 I've now placed on the track in the outer loop, so let's just apply a little bit of power and we can see that it travels to our left with the left hand bulb glowing, and it's coming around behind my layout. Here we go, round it comes. Quite smooth, it's about half power, seems to be doing alright. Whoops, lost it. Oh, doesn't seem to be much wrong with that, nicely quiet. And when it comes round here, we'll just bring it to a halt and put it into the other direction. So we'll be looking for this lamp to light up. And there it goes. And away is the DB215. And round it comes, nicely. Right, when it comes round again, we'll get the cover on, so that it looks nice. And check that everything else is okay. There it comes. And as she turns round, in full livery, you can just see how nice it looks on the track. Not much wrong with that in there, is there? And let me just turn it into reverse. And here she comes. Cab lights, nice. Coming round, nice and easy. Well then, that didn't turn out to be too bad. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to check it over the points. So let me just set the points one way and oops, here, so that we go from one track into the other. And it helps with putting the right direction. So let's see what happens over the points. Into there. And into there. Yep, come on. That's it, nearly there. Come on. Yep. So my inner track is a bit damp this morning. Reset the points and hopefully she'll go in the opposite direction. Yep, whoops. Wow. Shoots off. There we go. There we go, that's nice. And into the sidings. Okay, well, with my DB215 sitting ready in the track, I've actually coupled it up to this one. That's right, the DB218, which I showed you at the beginning. And they don't look too bad as a double header. Certainly running freely enough. And the colour scheme of that locomotive reminded me that when I was on holiday in Stavanger, actually we toured the Norwegian fjords and stopped at Stavanger. I was in a model shop and I came across this. It's a coach from apparently Swedish Railways, and you can see the colour. It doesn't look too bad a match for a little DB218. So I'm going to hook this up and have a look at it, see how they go together. Picking up the 215 and the 218, and there's that is Swiss Railway coach apparently. It's made also by ROCO, so it goes pretty well with the front loco. But yeah, they look nice, and the couplings have just uncoupled. DB215 on the track with DB218 next to it, and there is my Swiss Railway coach. Quite resplendent in its orange colours with the grey roof, and they look quite nice together, running very nicely. And again, oh bother. Thank you for watching. Just to recap, I had my two DB locomotives, European outline, because they came with a job lot. The one at the rear is a Del Prado, it's a static, but it is able to move under power. The one at the front is the one we're interested in, the DB215, and it's maroon and grey livery. The DB215 required a bit of lubrication and 2 diodes for the directional lamps. Other than that, it's quite a nice repair. I quite enjoyed that. And so Martin, if you're watching, I hope you liked that as well. And no doubt we'll be in touch and you can see what kind of deal we can come to. As the rest of you, again, thank you for watching. If you like Engage repairs and servicing, restoration, then please subscribe. If you watch this and any comments you feel you'd like to make, then add them at the bottom. And maybe you could press the thumbs up, give me a couple of thumbs up, yeah, that'd be nice. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. So until the next time, keep watching YouTube, keep watching SORT 6233, the Society for the Restoration of Trains. And so all I have to say now is, uh-oh, I was just about to finish this off when I suddenly noticed something. And if you look at the coupler, you'll see that coupler is hooked on the top, and this one is also hooked at the top. And I think that this one is the correct way, but this one at the other end is not. And the reason for that, I suspect that I put the bogie on upside down. Checking that there and comparing it to the other one. Yep, I put the bogie frames on in the wrong way. So I'm going to have to take this apart, change the bogies round, and then put it all back together again. And the other thing that I forgot about was that on the motor casing there only was one screw when it arrived, and I have to try and find another one. I'm going to give the little DB215 a little test. First of all, I'm going to set the points, and what I aim to do is bring the loco into my so-called station area where there's a rake of DB green coaches ready to be picked up. So hopefully if I can control these buttons, we should be able to. I've just unhooked them, so I'm just going to set them up because I've knocked one of the carriages off the rails. Okay, let's see what happens. We bring the DB215 forward through here into the track there. Should be keep going. Come on, baby. Yep, yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Yes, and there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 wagons. Let me just tweak the points. Pick it up again round the back. Not much problem with that at all. So I managed to get the coupler on the right way by reversing the front bogie, but I couldn't find another screw to fit the motor. So if anybody gets this, they can maybe source one themselves. Other than that, quite a pleasant repair. The diodes obviously gone, affected the bolts, just needed a really good clean. I don't think there's anything else untoward, just needed a bit of love and attention, probably not been running for a while. So there we go, DB215. So DB215 up and running nice and smoothly, not even half power, going very well. So if you like that, please comment favourably, press the thumbs up, Subscribe if you want to keep in touch with Engage servicing videos. Until then people, thanks for watching and bye for now.